Hey everyone, this is Julia, the Nomadic Crafter, and I'm back with the general update video. There is so much going on that I have to tell you about. Oh my God. Welcome everybody to my video. The first thing I forgot to tell you for my birthday video was to show you my birthday present. Da 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 da. I am now a California resident. For those of you that know everything I went through to get this license, it took forever. Every little step along the way took forever, and I finally got it. Finally back in California. I left in 93, never meant to leave for like 30 years. Lived in the Midwest, lived in the South. And now I've lived in San Diego for over a year and a half. Every little step, though, I mean, getting the document, I had to have it sent. It took 2 weeks. Then even when I went to DMV and I had my number, I missed them calling it because they were going so fast. So then there wasn't time to take the written test. So I had to come back to the DMV twice to do that. And then my brother had it for like a week and a half. So, I mean, it was just every little step, but I got it. And I went federal because I'm going to have to do that anyway, and I wanted to get a passport. So yay for me. I got my license. I'm a California resident again. And for all you California haters out there, you're just jealous. You wouldn't believe me if I told you what it was really like. All right. Go ahead, put your comments in there. I'm going to do a video about California coming up. But this is a general update video. The next thing I want to talk about is a big change. And this video, by the way, will include everything from van life stuff to crafting stuff. So stick around, all y'all. I have the original couch bed in this van that goes down as a whole bed or up as a couch. It's a great thing to have, but the only thing I don't like about it, well, the biggest part is it's not efficient for storing stuff because there's so many metal bars all under that thing that it's really tricky to find the right size container to like get under there. And even if you can get it under there, you're still not utilizing all the space that's under there. And then the back is tilted and you've got the seat belts and it's really pretty crazy. And the other thing I don't like about it is you can't move it around and redesign the space. And I really need to do that in my spaces. So this week, the man who bought the Chevy G20 from me is going to come and get this couch bed out of this van. And when he does that, I'm going to have to empty everything in the back of my van. Until I take it apart, I really don't know what I'm getting into. But once that couch is gone, I'm committed to changing the van around. So the other day, Bambi and I were at one of our thousands of parks that we go to, and there on the side of the road was this. I'll show you. So I found this, and it was a sign to go ahead and make the call. So this is going to be my new bed, and I have a backup plan for if this doesn't work. As you can see, it's a metal bed. Again, not much storage underneath because it's so low. What I really need to do eventually is build a wooden platform so I can have all that storage underneath. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and, I haven't even measured it yet, see if I can get this in the van. And you can see it goes up. And then I WD-40'd it and just washed it off. But, you know, I can fit my tent under there, my big long fan, potentially like a nice, because it's open on either end here, you see. So maybe a nice big flat basket. It's not that small. So we'll see if that works. One of the beauties of this is also in my van, I have this piece of plywood right here, which is just stored right there, which is convenient until I need to sew, which is what it's for. I have a folding table in the back that's like warped and it needs that plywood on it to make it flat and sturdy. And so that's why I have that. So if I need to sew, I can just pull that table right out of the back. But this, I gotta literally take out all the containers, the table there, just everything. I gotta undo this big giant rug. So it's really a pain in the butt, and it's not really working for me. So I thought perhaps the plywood would be able to lay on there. And then just today, my good mechanic friend told me that I could use this if I wanted, which is foam stuff. So it's really big apparently, and I can double it and put it on there. So that might work. And the other thing about it is I have a camping pad that's just being stored in the van, taking up space. I can roll that camping pad out on here too. Now, my alternate plan is if this bed doesn't work in the van, and it will fit, it's just a matter of if it goes over the wheel wells, if it works, and I won't really know till I take the other bed out. I mean, I can do some measuring and checking, but again, I don't even know if this will go over the wheel wells, so that's unfortunate. If there was a way to raise it up, perhaps somehow, I don't know. And there is a way with, what's it called? Plastic tubing, can't remember what it's called. When you have just regular legs, you can add the plastic tubing to it and raise the whole thing up. But this has like a continuous bar. So my alternate plan, if that doesn't work, is to use my giant plastic containers, put 3 of them in a row, and put the plywood board on top of that, probably over a blanket to create friction so it doesn't slide, and then put a blanket over that, and then put the bedding on top of that. That will take care of storing those big containers under the bed. The only problem comes when I actually need to use one of the big containers. So 2 of my big containers are things I don't need to get into regularly. So that'll work. It's that third one. So I have to figure that out. Alternately, we could sleep on the floor until we build it out. But this is a huge van, and right now it's not being efficiently used for space because of that couch. Now, I could be wrong and screwing up my whole van life right now by letting that couch bed thing go, but we'll see. I'm going to take the leap. So that's one of the big things happening this week for me in van life, is we're actually going to do a van build. And, today I also got, and I was at Walmart looking at these, of course, your classic plastic bins, and they were $14, and they're crappy, and I don't like them anyway, but I found this one at the thrift store today for $5, and I just cleaned it out, so it's all wet. So, no matter what I do, I needed this. Right now I've got just like a box with a leopard top that's about that tall in one space that could have this in one space and triple the size of storage that I have. So I got that. Now they had this other really beautiful little side bed desk with 2 drawers. The only thing was, it was in really good condition for $10. It only had the 2 drawers, but it had a lot of wood on either side, like decorative. And in a van, you don't want to have any extra chunkiness or any extra weight. So I didn't get the beautiful little side thing. I figure once I figure out the bed part, I can go from there. They had another 3-door one like that, but wood, and it was beautiful. But they had left all the furniture outside of the thrift store overnight because it rarely rains here. But since it rained, that one was all waterlogged and ruined. So it was very unfortunate. It would have been perfect for the van. So that's that. Now, the other piece of news is that tomorrow, my van needs to be looked at for repair work. So transmission line's leaking, but basically he needs to get under the doghouse in order to look at stuff under there. And I'm not exactly sure what that is because I'm not a mechanic, but I trust him. So now in order to get to the doghouse, first I have to entirely undo Bambi's bed. As you can see here, and if you haven't seen before, I took my passenger side bed and what I've got under here to build up the dog bag, and you can see it's totally a nice dog bed here, but underneath it, besides blankets, these are all bags of fabric for my business, and it's just massive amounts of fabric built up. So every time I need some of that fabric, I got to undo the bed. It's inconvenient, and it's one of the reasons I want to redo the van and eventually make a tall wooden bed that has a lot of storage underneath. I want my craft business and my materials to be easily accessible. The other thing I want in here, and I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, is somewhere to hang pieces, because very often I will make a series of pieces and then I need to have them hanging until I can get good photographs of them before I wrinkle them up by folding them and storing them. And really, I can't store everything by hanging. Plus, it causes the clothes to stretch over time, and you know there's going to be fur on them. So it's like a small hanging space is what I need for this flow that I do, where I make stuff, then go bring it somewhere and photograph it, and then measure it, put it away, and then go make more stuff and hang that in the van, bring it somewhere. So, but yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to empty this entire thing in order to get to the doghouse. And for those of you who don't know, of course, the doghouse is this big, the console is covering the front of the engine, is here in the front of the van. So yeah. So one, I'm getting mechanical work done tomorrow, at least starting the investigation into it. And then one day, and then the next day we're supposed to take the couch out. I'm very eager to get all of these things going so that I have the option of leaving San Diego, because there's a thing going around and I don't want to be in a big city doing that, being here for that. Now, I did just get back from the dollar store and half of the shelves are empty. I've also been searching for butane fuel at Walmart for multiple days, and I have a whole video I'm going to do on that. And I already did a whole big video on it 2 weeks ago when I was pre-prepared for all this stuff, but that video did not work out. So I'm going to have to redo it and give you all an update about how we're doing here in California with the new thing that's going around, and what I'm personally doing being a van dweller in terms of dealing with a pandemic like this. And it is totally different for a van dweller than a house, sticks and bricks house dweller. And I'm going to cover that in that next video. So we'll go ahead and redo that video and let you know where we're at. As you can see, I'm still alive, so that's good. Now, before we go, I would like to show you real quick a few pieces that I've worked on recently. So, for those of you that don't know, I have a little makeshift sewing studio here in my friend's office, and I'm very lucky. We've been here for months sewing and creating all of the things that are now uplifting my life economically, and I'm so appreciative of it. So, quickly, I've been working on men's shirts. So I've been taking other t-shirts and making patches out of them to put on the backs of shirts. And that one is like a local dispensary. So that's the first one that he made. Or these are just several that I've been making. There's no first and last. I'm going to make a million of these. And I also showed you these in terms of a project I can do in the van with hand sewing. But I was excited to get some of these done with the machine real quick. So that's another one. Mudville 9, Little League Baseball, or minor league baseball. And I just love the effect of taking a man's shirt and putting something unique on it. Here's the Johnny Cash one. Came out pretty sweet. And I did decide after doing these that I don't want to do the raw edge there, that I'd like to fold it over. So the ones coming up new will be folded over. And I love this one. And it is sewn on evenly, but when it's hanging, it doesn't look even. So, and this is a Lord and Taylor what's it called? Corduroy. But anyway, it's got this cool mandala on it, and it's the logo is Obey. You see the guy there in the middle. So yeah, those are some men's shirts I've been working on lately. And I'm still doing some dresses, but I'm short on skirts. I can't continue until I find more skirt parts. But I'll show you this little Jimi Hendrix jacket I'm about to make. So I'm going to take this Jimi Hendrix, I just call them patches, but it's a piece of fabric, obviously. And we're going to put it on the back of this faux sheepskin jacket, which I adore. And the other thing I'm going to do is, since the arms are a little dirty, because they're white, I mean, it's a clean jacket, it's been washed, but I'm going to stitch this up like that, and just cover that right up and make it sort of new again. I love this jacket. It's going to be really cool with this Jimi Hendrix on the back there. The other thing is, my smog registration thing came in, so now I've got to bring the van in to make sure it passes smog. This is kind of a big deal in California. If it doesn't, they direct me to yet another garage, and then they get to call what repairs I do. I have to do what they say, you know. It's crazy. So my mechanic's been giving me tips for getting ready to pass that, and that'll be the next step. So I have a lot more to do before I can even leave here, and hopefully that'll pass, and then we can just re-register the vehicle and head on out. So yeah, that is our general update from the Nomadic Crafter and Bambi Dog. If you all have any questions, just put them in the comments below. If you have any comments, put them in the questions below. Just kidding. And I thank you for taking your time to watch this video. Please like and subscribe and share. And I'll give you another video when we're taking apart this the couch out of the van. Oh, and by the way, I'm very lucky to have this spot here where I can do this. That's one of the most difficult things about van life is when you want to make a transformation, or even if you need van repairs, where do you go? Where does all your stuff go? So for me, I'm lucky to have this spot where all that stuff that's going to be emptied out of the back of the van is going to go in here while I'm working on it. And Bambi and I can just like go park somewhere for the night, sleep on the ground if we need to in the van. And what I'm going to do also is take apart the entire van and get it completely vacuumed out, and I'm going to wipe it all down because I never got to do that before I moved in, like wipe down the fabric. You wouldn't believe what comes off these old vans, so I won't say any more about that. And that Afghan rug's going to get a good beating. It's been a bad rug, so yeah, I'm going to take the opportunity to empty the whole van and clean it out. And it's a very rare opportunity that you can find a place to do that. Even at a motel, how are you going to, they don't want you putting your stuff out everywhere. So just very lucky. So yeah, we're going to do a new van build with that stuff, I believe, and we'll see how it works out. So again, thanks for watching. I'll let you go and have a beautiful day.